welcome to my channel. My name is Kamira and this is my review for Married at First Sight Unmatchables Season 1 episode, I think you said episode 4. The You're Probably Gonna Die Alone episode. Yeah. Okay, so we're introduced to the singles. The singles are Erwin, he's 37. He's been engaged 4 times. He wants to be married. He's a serial ghoster. He said he could be at the dinner table with someone. He'll go to the restroom and not come back. He said if a woman has kids, turn off. If a woman wears makeup, turn off. He said it feels like you're lying to him if you have makeup on. I mean, I wouldn't date him, but I got on makeup right now. Trying to get in the hang of this whole YouTube thing. But anyway, he pretty much had unrealistic standards of a woman. He was a workoutaholic. He's a vegan. He does intermittent fasting where he only eats for like during a 4-hour block of the day. He says he gives up on dating quick, and I wrote down that I think he would suck on Married at First Sight. Like, you see why these people were not chosen. Like, who they gonna match you with? Irvin, whatever it was. Okay, Stephanie. Oh, Irvin was 37. Next, we meet Stephanie. She's 40. The first thing she said was that she wants to save her money and spend yours. She's high maintenance. She gets Botox and facials. She thinks she's intimidating. She does have a little attitude. She says she's a CEO of a bartending company, which is pretty cool in my opinion. And she also has an online boutique. She does seem kind of like stuck up, like, I don't know, kind of superficial. She says she's used to dating athletes, club owners, something else she said. I don't know, people that have money basically. But you're used to dating those people, but like, what happens because y'all not together? And her last boyfriend was like 8 years ago. So 8 years ago, you were used to that. So what have you been doing in the last 8 years is my question. But okay, let's go ahead and get into the next scene. Next, we see Pastor Cal going over to Irvin's house. He shows him his refrigerator, and he had 4 things in there. It all consisted of fruit. I did say that he was a vegan earlier. He said he's a serial ghoster because he doesn't want to waste time and doesn't mind hurting someone's feelings. I mean, I can imagine, like, you just leaving on a date. That's not cool. But anyway, he broke off the engagements because he says they changed once they got the ring. And I'm a little curious about that one. Like, how long were you guys dating before you proposed to them? And they changed how? I don't know. Anyway, Pastor Kyle said that he was not surprised that Irvin was single. He said he thinks he's God's gift to women, but no, he's God's gift to his mom. And I was just like, okay, Pastor Kyle. Pastor Kyle says he wanted to encourage him to expand his expectations. So the purpose of the show is that they're gonna find 2 singles who are unmatchable and try to set them up on a date. Now, looking at these 2 so far, I would not think they would be a match. I don't know how much money Irvin makes, but I don't think it'll be up to Stephanie's, what she's used to just from this point in the episode. Okay, next scene. Next, we see Dr. Viviana going to Stephanie's house. She has a really nice home. She says she's looking for a prince to match her lifestyle. She enjoys shopping, traveling, and just wants someone to pay for it, basically. She's been single for the past 8 years. She is a wannabe sugar baby. But, like, aren't sugar babies, like, in their 20s, typically? So your ship may have sailed with that. But I don't know. Dr. Viviana said, you could probably find someone, but it may not be the man who's going to just throw money at you. And she was like, well, she don't want it. But okay, I don't know. So anyway, in the next scene, Pastor Cal has set up a Mr. Mystery game. And the purpose of the game was like, if you did not know anything about the person, their finances, their career, and you all connected on different things, would you want to date them? Was the purpose of the game. They asked questions like, what meal would you like? Do you want someone to order for you? Things like that. And I know that one person mentioned they would like lemon pepper wings. And she was like, the ghetto. Like, that's ghetto. Girl, no, it's not. Everybody in Atlanta like lemon pepper wings, like with the sprinkles. Or hot with the sprinkles. I don't know. But anyway, pretty much she said she wants, oh no, I'm sorry. Pastor Cal was like, girl, these men want a wife, not a princess. And she was like, well, I want to be the princess, basically. So anyway, it seems like she connected more with the construction worker on different things before finding out what his job was. And unfortunately, when he took his the cover off and showed his construction uniform, she was like, oh no. And the guy did look disappointed. The other guy was a lawyer. The other guy was an IT professional. And she was just like uppity. I don't know why they picked her for this show. And I see why they would have not picked her for Married at First Sight. Like, girl, what are you talking about? She said it's hard to change lifestyles because she's kind of used to those things. I mean, you can provide them for yourself. So, I mean, yeah, you want somebody to add to what you're already doing, but like, I don't know. It just kind of seems unrealistic to have somebody just come in and throw money at you because you're cute. Now, she was real pretty. Yes, true indeed. But like, her attitude didn't match how she looked, in my opinion. Because I thought she was really pretty. But her attitude was kind of sucky. But okay, anyway, next scene. Next, we see Dr. Viviana and Irvin. He is an international cycling instructor. So I guess he like does the Peloton stuff, but like all over the world, or he like is one of the Peloton, or I'm not gonna say Peloton, but like one of those companies that have the bikes, and he may be one of the people that's come on the screen as people are working out, or he may travel around the world to do that in person. It's kind of what I'm thinking that job entails. And I think that could be, he could have money. We don't really know, but I don't know. But anyway, so Dr. Viviana puts together a focus group to get feedback from women about things that Irvin has said, his physical appearance, being that he's very superficial. So at first, the women just saw his picture, his face, and thought he was cute. They were like 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5. He was cute. But then they showed the women videos of him talking about how he's a serial ghoster, how, what he was talking about. Things about women that he just didn't like. They showed that to the women. And all the women, there were about 4 or 5 women in the room. All of their faces were like disgusted. By the time they got done playing his like casting or like snippets of his casting video, they were like, They were like, he's a coward, he sucks, he's wasting people's time. So anyway, he ends up coming into the room to kind of try to explain himself, or like, so I thought that he was going to explain himself and what he meant by some of his comments, but he didn't. They called him a jerk, said he was closed-minded, and to be honest, he kind of took it in, but like, he said he's not going to change. So he didn't really get the purpose of the focus group. I don't think he understands like how he's coming off. Yeah. Okay, anyway, next scene. So in this next scene, while it was cold outside, that could be a reason. Next scene, we see Dr. Viviana trying to do an obstacle course for Stephanie. And I don't really know what she's supposed to gain from this obstacle course. She said something about teamwork, but like, I don't know. But anyway, excuse me, there was an obstacle course for the singles, and she had to ride a bike. It was like a double bike. The guy she was there with, and then her, it was a member from the church that Pastor Cal preaches that he was there, and then he had to team up with her to try to ride the bike to the finish line to get like a dinner. She was like, dinner? That's the prize? They can win, y'all can have that little dinner. And I was just like, Lord. So she got on the bike. She may have like done like maybe 2 rounds with her feet going around on the bike, you know. And she was like, I give up. Like, she complained the whole time. She was being a brat is what I wrote, because she kind of was like, girl, you can, like, it's not that deep. Girl, try to ride the bike. Like, work together. It's not all about you, but in her world it is. So, okay, I don't know. Okay, next scene. Next we see Irvin meeting up with Pastor Cal, and there's a blanket in this big room, white walls, and they have a screen to come down. On the screen was Irvin's mom and his cousin. So they talked about how he ghosts women and doesn't really care if they do this, he's out. And well, his mom and cousin were saying they were like disappointed in him, because what if that was me? Especially the one with a child. Like, his mom has him as a child. She may have more kids, I don't know. And what if a man said to her, well, you got kids, so and ghost her? Like, how would you feel? And you know, he didn't really want to listen, but he kind of got it as his mom and cousin were talking. Oh, he mentioned that before he was 300 pounds, and at that weight there are only a certain type of woman that would date you. Or you know how like people think they're like, if I'm like a 5 myself, I'm probably gonna only be able to date 4s or 5s or 3, you know, like whatever. Kind of like that mentality about him being 300 pounds. And he said as he lost that weight, he kind of gained his confidence, right? And wanted his partner to kind of match him as he is now after losing the weight, pretty much. He said when he was dating before, he was doing things, but like he didn't feel appreciated. So again, he built some wall up. So that all kind of makes sense. However, it took you time to kind of get to where you are now. So like, you know, kind of have some grace for somebody else. That's all I'm saying. So, okay, next scene. Next we see Irvin and Stephanie go to a like sip and paint type of date. He said she was beautiful. He liked what he saw. Stephanie, not so much. She said she was not overly thrilled by looking at Irvin. She said, well, maybe I should lower my standards to be with somebody like him. I was just like, Lord, it's already going left already. So then the instructor came in the room to tell them they're going to be body painting. She was like, no, we not. He was like, on your arm? She was like, you're not touching me, okay? And I was like, oh, Lord. Anyway, as they were painting some ugly pink and black flower, he kept calling her honey. He was like, okay, honey, do you like this, honey? Here you go, honey. Do you like going fishing, honey? He didn't ask her that, but like, I don't know what else he asked her. I didn't write it down. So, but he kept on saying honey. And she was like, well, he keep on calling me honey. Does he know my name? And I'm not gonna lie, this is like a off-topic thing, but I always wonder if guys know how to say my name right when we first start talking, because they'll kind of use those little pet names, but then I'll be like, how you say my name? Do you know how to say my name? They'd normally be like Kamara. No, it's Kamira. Okay, anyway, back into the episode. She said she wants a boss, and he sounds like he is broke. Girl. Anyway, they asked her, well, what do you like about him so far? She was like, nothing. They started talking about, you know, what do you value in relationships? She says loyalty, communication, and a provider. When she mentioned provider, he was like, He asked her to kind of expand on that. he says that he wants someone that they're kind of both working together to do things and kind of meet in the middle. And she was like, oh, well, I'm not that. Draco wine. She was like, I'm not that. That's not me. And, you know, everybody's not going to be with what you're on. Like, I don't really know. Well, there are guys that'll be like, I want to just take care of you and you can stay at home. We saw that on Ready to Love with Ron, right? He said that he would be the provider. So, I know, well, they in Texas. I'm like, he probably need to hit up Stephanie. But anyway, they both want to be married. They start, like, getting into it at the date. Like, they started, like, bumping heads. Because, one, her attitude was not really great. It wasn't really positive going in. He kind of started to pick up on it. And it was kind of like going back and forth. She was like, let's cut the BS. You're not stable. You're all over the place. She tried to kind of like read him and tell him off because she thought she was better than him from what I think. Anyway, he says, he came back with, you must think you cute. And you probably get too much attention. You want somebody to give you money all the time, which she does. And he says you probably gonna die alone with your outdated expectations. You can't tell somebody that. Like I cracked up. Like, you don't tell somebody they probably gonna die alone. That was rude. She was being mean, but like that was rude. Like, Then he said you don't need a man when you act like a one. I'm sorry, I said a one. He said you don't need a man when you act like a man. On that one, I was just like, well, he didn't lie. I mean, anyway, they bumped heads. They ended up on terrible terms. She called him the B word and said no one has ever talked to her like that. But she was kind of being like ridiculous too. He should not have told that girl she gonna die alone. That's not okay. She probably won't. And her too, like, I don't know why, but on every show I'm watching, I always feel like y'all can use this platform to like find love. She is a pretty girl. I'm sure there's somebody in Atlanta or wherever they are, I think it was Atlanta, that's gonna reach out to her and say they'll do whatever she wants, you know. So anyway, I wrote down this was a terrible match, experts. What y'all was doing, Pastor Cal, Dr. Vivian. Y'all normally get it right. But this one, And I wrote down they are still both unmatchable. Who gonna deal with Stephanie? Who gonna deal with Irvin? I don't know. But anyway, you guys, thank you, and thank you for watching. And I will see you guys on the next one. I'm about to do the next episode of Unmatchables right now. So I'll see you guys on that one. Bye.